So a little light on the volume right now. So coming into 265 again. A little bit more selling off coming into 265. See if we can break up, push to 270 here. Alright, so we're coming up. 30 seconds left on this 1 minute candle. Looking good, pushing up to 270. Seems to be holding up fairly well. So see if it holds above VWAP, and yeah, if this candle closes above VWAP, then we're looking good. Alright, so trying to get a few more shares here. Coming up through 270, but it shot up pretty quick there. So got 20 more shares. Cost base is now $2.67. On the 5 minute, now we want to hold above 270. Ideally, we'd get a move back up to this $3 area. See how these 1 minute candles hold up. Now, if we start selling off now and we're coming down below 265, back down below VWAP, I'll probably sell off a bunch of my shares, because that would be a really bad sign if we crash down below VWAP now. Next resistance point should be coming up into 285. Maybe we'll see a little bit of resistance there. And if we break through there, we should be good up to 3. But yeah, TMBR making a move up too. Definitely something to keep an eye on here. Get a few other things pop up, but TMBR seeming like the only one that's really having some staying power. DMD pulling back a little bit right now, unfortunately. See if this ends up staying above. Like I said, if it now comes down through VWAP, not looking great. TMBR, really good volume on the last 1 minute. So check out the charts here. Green 1 minute candle had 400,000 shares of volume. Really nice. So far, only one 5 minute candle since the breakout. Coming up on news, pharmaceutical company, some kind of development partner news. Don't really have too much to say about that. And ZCMD now coming down to VWAP, unfortunately. So let's see if it comes through VWAP. Like I said before, this 5 minute candle now, we have 45 seconds left on it. We really kind of need this to close above 270 to look strong. It's like it's struggling to stay above 270 at the moment. Staying above 270 is great, and then the next 5 minute candle pushing above 280 is, let's see, 15 seconds left. See if it could pop back up, or if it's going to hold closer to VWAP. Coming down. So closed, looks like 269 it closed at, or exactly 270. So the fact that it closed above VWAP is good to see. I mean, I would have liked it to close further above 270, obviously, but still closing above VWAP is looking good right now. I want to see this come back up through 280, and then if it pushes straight up to 3, that's great. Let's put in, technically, I guess, 3 green candles in a row on the 5 minute. But these green candles were, these 2 green candles were essentially just sideways. They were nothing. So it's not looking super extended. It's looking good. Things should be able to make a move back up. Alright, pushing up through 280 now. Pushed kind of straight to 290, but bouncing off of that a little bit. I think my first price target is probably going to be coming into 3. So probably take a few shares off once we break above 290 as we come into $3, depending on how strong it looks. TMBR kind of just moving sideways right now. Pushing up, pushing up. Having a hard time just above 290. But still holding pretty close to it, which you can see. I'm gonna take off 10 shares at 290. Seems to be struggling a little bit pushing over. 10 shares here. So now we'll hold these 30 shares. If we get a nice push over $3, then we'll try to add. But I just wanted to take off some profit off the top, since it seemed to be struggling pushing over 290. And now we see it putting in a little bit of a 1-minute pullback here, which is no big deal. So as far as the low on this candle, it's 270. So we wouldn't want this to push down back through 270. For this 5-minute candle, it's got 2.5 minutes left. Really want to see it hold above 280 since that was the breakout. Holding above 280 means it's very strong right now. And on the 1 minute, seeing a nice tail on this candle is a very good indicator. Now this is making like a green hammer or whatever they call it. So that's really nice. Seeing it dip down and get bought up. Pushing above $3. Still hitting a little bit resistance coming up in the 3, kind of to be expected. Little bit of resistance. So the more resistance I'm seeing coming up into 3, if we're not holding up and we start selling off some, then I'll probably try to take off, like 10 more shares. Because it looks like we're having quite a hard time pushing up into 3, and then previously we've broken 3 2 times, and both times have sold off pretty significantly. So I'm going to take off 10 shares here, now that we've been struggling for nearly this whole minute candle to push up above 3. We'll see what this next minute candle does. Next minute candle's looking really strong. Good to see. Alright, pushing up above. So now 304 we might see a little bit of resistance. 308 we might see a bit of resistance. But you see how we just broke above 3 by 1 cent and then immediately sold off. So this is kind of why I've been trimming my position going into this. Because previously we've seen going into 3 that we've been having a really hard time. A very difficult time back here. So as we came up to 304 this first time, sold off 20 cents. We came up to 308 the second time, sold off 20 cents. So very difficult time coming up into 3. So I'm still gonna hold these 20 shares, looking for the move up. But 5-minute candle just closed. So if this starts pulling back now, like below 290, I'll probably just take off the rest of my position and wait for a new setup. So it seems to be coming down. See if it pushes below 290. Because now it's slightly extended on the 5-minute. Yeah, so I'm gonna close out this position. Apparently, I did not get close where I wanted to. So if we look at the 5-minute, I mean, and it might just turn around and come back up, but on the 5-minute now we've put in 4 green candles in a row. This last green candle was pretty large green candle. On the highest volume of the day, as opposed to back here. And what happened back here when we had the highest volume candle of the day, we had a pullback afterwards. So I'm kind of expecting a little bit of a pullback, especially because we just bounced off of this $3 level and we're kind of struggling going into it. It's turning around at the 1 minute right now. Keep an eye on it, see if it comes back up into 3. But I'm just gonna take my profit for right now, and then if it gives us another setup a little bit later, maybe a 5 minute setup, then I'll buy into it. But I think right now it seems a little extended on the 5 minute and has been struggling coming into $3. See what it does now. Pushed up 302. See if it can push up to 304 or 308. That's really the test. So pushed up into 302, came back down again. So now 2 times in a row, it's pushed up and made 1 cent breakouts and then pulled back. So seems to be struggling. And now the opposite happened here, where we see a 1 minute candle with a really large wick, which is usually not a good indicator. Previously, when we saw this green candle with a really large tail, that was great. Yeah, this is not looking nearly as good. And we've now had 2 false breakouts above $3, which is also not good on the 1 minute. The 5 minute is technically a false breakout as well. It popped up 1 cent over the previous 5 minute candle, and now it's pulled back. So I would say all indicators are saying that this is looking like it should pull back a little bit. Then maybe we'll get maybe at some point in the near future we'll get a setup over $3 on the 5 minute, and then we'll buy into that. But I don't think I'd be willing to buy into this currently. Yeah, and I mean, if more volume starts coming in, I could see us start just busting through $3. But it seems to just be getting sold off into every time it pushes above it. Not really gonna try to take the risk of buying into it right now. And TMBR, the other one that we were watching, just pulling back right now, so not really too much to watch at the moment. CCMD is still definitely the one to watch. HUGE, bring it up, but doesn't really do much earlier. Check it out on the 5 minute. Yeah. So made this big move up to 4 at 4 in the morning. Was pulled back to $3, so it's pulled back nearly half the move. So I don't think anything's going to happen with this anytime soon. CMD still kind of just chilling. 1 minute left on this 5 minute candle. I think it would be better if this 5 minute candle ended red, just because it would give people the chance to get a new opportunity on it. What's going on, gentlemen? How you going, man? We're pushing up to 3 again. 30 seconds left on this 5 minute candle. If it pulls back now, that's really not a great sign. It would be 3 times in a row that it came up over 3 and then pulled back. So seems like it's closing above 3. Yeah, the last minute candle of this thing just popped off. Yeah, so I mean, sometimes that happens. I really didn't like the setup on this, and now we have 5 green 5 minute candles in a row. So now we're more extended than we were before when I sold off. So I don't think I'd be willing to take a trade on this until we get a little bit of a pullback. Huge volume coming on this 1 minute candle though. Really, really nice volume on this 1 minute. So we'll see if we continue volume like that in the next few minute candles. Then maybe we can jump back in. Yes. Now, unfortunate thing is we had this really nice 1 minute volume candle that pushed us up, and then the next 1 minute candle is a red candle with nearly as much volume. So definitely not what you want to see. You kind of want to see a significant decrease in the pullback. But, so I want to see on the 5 minute. I'd like to see a red candle here. We put in a red candle to give people the opportunity to find a new setup to buy in on. Um, holding above 3 would be great on this candle. And then maybe we'll take the first 1 minute candle to make a new high, and we'll buy in there. But yeah, I mean, if we push up above 319 now, it's just like so extended. 5 green 5 minute candles in a row after a pretty big green move to begin with, back here. So, um, I don't think I could buy pushing into 320 here. It's for some reason it's having a lot of resistance in like the low threes right now. Like pushing up into 320. It's having quite a bit of resistance here, and on the daily, it doesn't like the all-time high is up here at 525. And it doesn't seem like there should be too much resistance between $3 and that area. So it might just be people holding from up here. This was the highest volume day, trading nearly 20 million shares of volume. So it could just be people holding from this previous all-time high who are trying to get out as we push up. Could be people short selling. I don't know. But quite a bit of resistance coming up into these levels. A lot of selling happening. So even if it breaks out, I mean, most of these breakouts that we've been seeing, the expectation is it's moving maybe a few cents, 10 cents or something like that. And I think after so many green 5 minute candles in a row, we're buying into this breakout at 320. If we want to hold the trend, we have to hold down to like 285 on the 5 minute. And if we're going to hold down to 285, buying at 315, it's 30 cent down and 30 cent projected loss, and we are holding for what, like maybe like a 10-15 cent breakout. It's just, I feel like the ratio just isn't there for me to want to buy at this moment. Gentlemen, you've been making some trades this week. You up? I feel like the market's been doing well. I feel like kind of just chilling a little bit yesterday, right? Check it out. Yeah, yesterday kind of went down a little bit, but overall the market's been awesome this last week. Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, you can kind of tell. Like, I feel like obviously the low float market and the market on a whole are like fairly linked. So the last 2 days have been like fairly slow for low floats, medium floats. Yeah. Are you doing so you're doing options on like S&P, right? So are you doing calls and puts, or are you just like only calls or only puts? Are you just kind of just determining it based on the day? Right, so 5 minute candle just closed. DCMD here, and now sixth green candle, green only by a tiny bit here. In like a 5 cent move, green. So still not really a good opportunity to buy in yet. Nice. You only lose money. What's what's going on, man? Yeah, dude, I feel you. I feel like sometimes I like wake up at like 6 in the morning, trade for like 3 hours, and like lose money, and I'm like, why am I doing this? It's like I could easily just wake up and not do anything and not lose any money. quite an unfortunate thing. Are you listening to, gentlemen? Do you listen to like the Benzinga, like squawk thing? Or are you listening to something else? I definitely get it. I feel like I'm saying like in my head I'm like you gotta lose money, you gotta put in the hours to learn how to do it, and then eventually I'll make money. So that's how I trick myself into continue doing this every morning. Maybe one day I'll make money. All about that consistency. If you keep doing it, eventually you'll learn something. So ZCMD pulled back a little bit down to close to 310, but immediately bought back up. I really need to see this thing put in a pullback because it's just chilling way too close to the highs. Get like that one good day and you're like, I'm the best. I finally did it. This is the day. Turning it all around. Gonna be green from here on out, and then like the next day you just get dumpstered. Market keeping us humble, definitely. One of these days, it'll all click. I like it. I feel like the more picky I am about what I'm trading, um, obviously the better I do and the higher win rate I have. But then, the more picky you are, you could like sit here for an entire morning and not see anything that's perfect, and then you just sat here for whatever 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and took no trades. So I feel like sometimes I just get antsy and I'm like, well, this thing looks pretty good. Let me just buy into it and see what happens. And when the yields are high, market goes down. Correct. So that's not great. Trading on a tablet, dude. What trading software are you using that you can trade on a tablet? I guess you could probably use Thinkorswim on a tablet or something like that. I think it also kind of depends on what your trading style is. Um, like your needs as far as like trading platforms go. Yeah, I think trading on a phone is like near impossible. If you want to get in and out with any kind of speed, your execution speed is like 30 seconds on a phone. It's brutal. But I could see Thinkorswim being usable on the tablet. Or Schwab. Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard if you're trying to make like quick trades. Like there are people who make trades where it's like their total trade plus their holding time is, on the order of seconds, and it's like if you want to do something like that, like you really need like a more professional service. Like I don't think you're going to be able to do stuff like that and like any degree of accuracy if you're using like Thinkorswim or something like that. No, because half the time when I hit the buy button, especially when it's not market hours, um, if I'm just buying on the bid or selling on the ask, like half the time I don't get filled if it starts moving quickly. And if you're scalping, you want it to move quickly. So it's I don't know, it's just not a good situation. Um, all right, 825 just hit. IMTX popped up again, but IMTX kind of just been like moving higher throughout the day, not really doing too much. ZCMD though just put in its first 5 minute candle, which is good to see. 5 minute red candle. So now we have a couple things that we could potentially do. Buying on the 1 minute, we can buy above 320, but then still, I mean, like we have to hold at least down to $3 on 5 minute, and my upside for these breakouts is just I'm not super confident in them right now. So I don't love the upside of this trade. I would love to see this put in another red 5 minute candle, so we can get some more people in on the action, and then you know if we put in a 5 minute candle now, then coming into 8:30 we can do a breakout, and hopefully at 8:30 we'll get a few more traders coming in, some more volume coming into stocks. Yeah, that's why it's rough trying to use something with a touch screen to try to trade. Very very difficult. Even like the strategy that like I'm trading now, I think it's definitely doable on Thinkorswim. Like you could definitely make money doing it. But I would say having a legitimate trading app is probably better. Just because like the ticks on TD, like you only get updates like every like half second or something on TD, and that sounds like a lot, but like sometimes you'll see a stock like jump like 10, 15 cents between like the time where you're like, say you're like looking for this breakout over 321 or something. I could be sitting here, and then all of a sudden the next tick it'll be like 325, and then I'll have to buy in 4 cents higher than I want to. And on a stock like this that isn't moving that much, 4 cents is like it's a fairly big move if you're looking for a breakout of like only 10 cents or something. Oh, 35% off Patrick's Day. Oh, I forgot. Is today St. Patrick's Day? I was trying to figure out something green to wear, but I don't really own anything that's green, I think. Quite unfortunate. Nice. See, like I was saying, I mean, it's very difficult when you're especially looking for smaller moves. On like a real trading platform, especially like the time and sales and the level two. Like on like a real trading platform, you'll get a good level two. Your order, like your time and sales will be updated much faster. So instead of waiting for it to break a level, like you can see the buying coming into a level, and you can look at the level two and buy with the expectation of it to break, rather than on something like Thinkorswim where you pretty much have to wait until it breaks over a level before you actually know for sure that it's going to come above it. It's just yeah, it's just hard. We got the stimmy. Nice, stimmy boy. Hit it. I didn't realize they were coming so early. I thought they people weren't supposed to get them until like a few months from now or something, a month or two. That's good to see. So 5 minute candle. Unfortunately, it came back up again. Yeah, I don't know. I can't take a trade on this. It's holding like way too close to its highs. This 5 minute red candle here pulled back, but it really didn't pull back very much. It's like a tiny, tiny little pullback. It pulled back from 323 to 312. So not a huge pullback there. And then it is like I said, if I bought buying above 320, for this breakout, or about 327, I guess was the breakout level. It only moved up 9 cents from there. So it's just, and then I have to hold down to possibly down to three for my bailout point. It's just I cannot bring myself to buy this with the ratio of profit to loss that we have on it right now. And the 5 minute candle just closed. I think yeah, just to hit 8:30. So now's the time to watch the scanners to see if we can get something else popping up on news. As the PC Stimmy gift. Our PCs like expensive right now? Like graphics cards. They're like shortages on like everything. Right. So we got a stock popping up at 8:30. Keep a DCMD. What? COCP. Oh, that's super light volume. Yeah, completely trash. Not worth looking at. CMD putting in a little bit of a 1 minute neck. I mean, I have to expect now that, we put in a small 5 minute red candle, another green candle that just barely broke up above. I have to assume we're going to have to get a pullback here. I mean, the last couple breakouts have just been really weak. Boblikov, that's how you pronounce your name. Thanks for the follow, man. Really appreciate it. Here every morning. Come check me out. If you want to look at the scanners, check out oliveguardians.com. I keep them running all day. Today I started it kind of late. I need to just write a script to start them up at whatever 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Because I've usually been starting them up when I wake up, and I woke up at 7 today, so started a little late. That's cool. I need to get a new machine at some point. My current machine is 5 years old or something. Maybe even older than that. My box is pretty old at this point. It's old enough and it's acting wonky enough where every time I power cycle it, I'm like, is today the day that it never turns back on again? And that's not really a feeling you want to have. AREC just popped up. 17 million or close to 18 million share float. Volume pretty nice on this last one candle. Over 150,000 shares of volume. So that's looking pretty good. See, yeah, so I'll keep this up in my active trading window right now. We'll see if we can get another move up on this. So now that